This is button mashers. Well, no, actually, this is button mashers. What you're looking at right now is the first time the public ever got to see anything about this elusive game, button mashers. This is the video. Button mashers fight demonstration from the 15th of January of 2024. From there on, it's been radio silence. Gonna be honest, with how little context is provided with both the description and the video, it's no surprise barely anyone was interested. In this video, we're gonna look through the history of this game, its origins, and well, what happened to it in general, because this footage and the one I showed at the start are too different to be the same game. Also, I love making these dev documentary videos, you know? Disclaimer, I am using the 11 Labs AI voice because I couldn't find the time to record in these holidays, and also, I kinda lost my mic. Yikes. So first, the origin. This game started because I wanted to make a game where you press buttons to fight enemies, but plot twist, you don't fight them. You send guys to fight other guys. Might have been subconsciously inspired by Battle Cats, but oh well. I like watching complex AIs fight. That could be why I started this too. Anyways, when this project was started, I had huge plans, gigantic, massive plans. So I got a few devs who had to accept some terms and conditions to work with me. Really, the main point was the one saying you might not get paid. This is because I don't have much money to give, so I had to get them free or else I'd probably be in trouble. The rest of the points were filler, if I remember correctly. I won't name these devs here, but they will most likely end up in the credits of the game when it releases. Anyhow, we worked on the map, inspired by the Tower Heroes map submission Colorful Core. As you'll see later next year, this isn't the only time we've repurposed ignored Tower Heroes map submissions. So, the map was this lab digging into a cave. The lore was that you were a bunch of crazy scientists who dug somewhere and found a rift, and that brought a lot of freaky MFS to the world or something like that. I made most of the enemies. One of them made the protons and electrons system, and then we play-tested it. It was so good. So I made a bunch more enemies and a wave system. By now, the game was advanced enough to where you could release it in 2016, and it'd be groundbreaking. But that can be said about most of my 2022 games. So I kept working on it, and eventually took a break, and suggested for the others to do the same. Funny confession, but that demonstration was actually from November of 2023, not January of 2024. That's why the description said I kept the video hidden for a while. The hiatus whole year passed, and there was zero interest in the project from the rest of the team. If I remember correctly, those shitty disguised casino tower defense games were trending back then, and I wanted to take a page from that book. I wanted my game to have all of that and some more to really take off. So alone, I made this system where you can switch units from inventory to loadout. Yay! Also, there were 39 classes of units for your loadout. Oops. Yeah, the way the game would have worked was that you start with 39 of the noob pack, and when you roll, you can get a unit of a certain class and switch the one you have to that one. For example, I get the Anaconda, so I replace my tank noob for it, as it's my only big unit slot. Yeah, that system was probably not going to catch on. So, I did all that, and then the rolling system. Well, I attempted to. I sucked at GUI back then, and client-to-server events, so it just ended up being an animation with a "you got" text and nothing else. So again, I left the game for a while. For another whole year. The comeback, the Battle Bricks, is trending and is a very good game. So there was a lot of fan games. Naturally, I was drawn to these fan games and wanted to make my own. I thought of how I'd make it unique. I could use noobs, but like 75% of everything I do has noobs, as apparent by the demo too. I could do the old approach of doing noobs versus creatures, but that was also not going to be very good, and more work than it should. So I ended up settling for just using the designs we had made like 3 years ago for both sides. And after 4 days of the voice in my head going from whispering, "Do it," to screaming in my mind, "Do it!" I hopped on Studio and got to work. The hardest part with projects like these, like Face Killer, is always setting it up for the rest of the things to work. You have to be precise, and since the first part of the development is GUI only, it gets tedious and frustrating. But once I was past that, it was the most fun I've had on any project. And that takes us to today. It's basically another game in that battle brick style, but not using the default R6 rigs like everyone else. And also, there is free camera, not just left and right. This is one of my favorite parts of the game, as others are kinda limited in terms of what you can see. This does mean I have to model every single angle, but that wasn't a problem for me. And also, I added a few Easter eggs behind where your camera starts looking, so you can look around as you beat levels and get some fun pictures. You can see your favorite boss from all angles, and you can see your own loss from every angle too. It's great. So, I'm planning on releasing the game soon. It has enough content for a 1.0, I'd say. 3-star system works well, has an almanac, and even a magnification calculator. This is really just because you can't see stats in the level select screen like in other games like this. So here we are. I made a TBB game because Bucket was taking too long to make Chapter 5. Well, he wasn't actually taking too long. I'm just getting impatient. Before this video ends, I want to know something small. Should I name this game The Fighting Fellas or keep Button Mashers? Or do you suggest any better name? Please let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.